Today I have the pleasure of having a conversation with a great and remarkable actor, Michael Madsen. He's been in films such as Reservoir Dogs, Kill Bill, Sin City, Donnie Brasco, Strength and Honor, and among many others. And what I want to do today is go a little bit deeper into his motivations, what inspires him, what makes him choose from one script to another, and what are his favorite films. So enjoy the conversation. Michael, first of all, thank you for having this conversation. I'd like to know what is it that is the element that makes you decide from one script to another when it comes to you. When you receive a script, what is it that je ne sais quoi that makes you the motivation to decide and do that role?
Well, I have a wastebasket in my house, a garbage bag, and I keep it in the corner, and then I throw the script at it, and if it doesn't go in the can, if I miss, then I think, it's very probably important that I read that one, and I get it.
No, seriously.
Most of them are pretty horrible. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I got one called Elvis.
Okay.
That was about Elvis Presley. It was about a guy who was the illegitimate son of Elvis Presley, and he looks very much like him because he really is his son, and that he was like an entertainer, during the day in like casinos and stuff, but then at night he was a serial killer. Yeah, it was so stupid. It was really horrible.
Oh no, it doesn't.
And he ate people that he killed. He was a cannibal. Like a cannibal Elvis. Can you believe
Well,
that?
I was expecting to hear like he was a zombie or something at this point, or a
that would've been
3D
better.
movie.
If he was a zombie, I might have done it. I mean, that's very popular nowadays. I'm not lucky enough to choose what I want to do. I'm very lucky if I get one that's good. I have been lucky, but most of the time, honestly, it's about security for my family. I mean, it's about staying employed, just being busy. I mean, I'm no different than the person who plants this flower or the one who made that building. I mean, it's my job as an actor, so I get asked to do certain things, and sometimes they're very, very good, and sometimes they're not. But obviously, I say no to, certain things that are, really ridiculous. But for the most part, everybody tries really hard to make a good movie. I don't think anybody intentionally wants to make a bad film. Everybody thinks that they're gonna do the next greatest thing, mm-hmm. But it's not that easy to do that.
Sure.
And I, as an actor, I can't make it great just because I'm in it. It has to be well made. I have to be surrounded by talented people.
Certainly.
Or else it's going to be lousy, no matter if I'm in it or not. You know what I'm saying? So, I've seen Marlon Brando in terrible movies. He made a couple that are, pretty bad. But it's everybody has the best intentions in the beginning.
Sure.
But you can't ever really know how it's going to turn out. Mm-hmm. So it's not as selective as you might think. It's not like I can, I pick and choose who I want to work with. It doesn't really work that way, There's certain things I'd like to do, mm-hmm. certain things I want to do, but even the ones that I want to do, somebody who has financing might not necessarily want to pay for something like that, right? Mm-hmm. I've run into that a lot, because I have a lot of scripts that will probably never get made because nobody wants to put the money up mm-hmm. for certain things,
Sure.
Unless it's about a robot or, the end of the world or some shit like that.
Michael, what about your role models? I understand you like classic films, Humphrey Bogart, actors like that. Can you tell me a little bit more about your role models in the past and today?
I mean, most of the ones I feel that way about are actors from a different generation. You know, actors from a long time ago. Mm-hmm. You know, some of whom are not even living anymore. You know, Peter O'Toole or you know, Robert Mitchum or Gregory Peck, you know, or somebody like that. I mean, you know, those guys, man, you know, they really made a statement, and they're very well remembered, you know, for wonderful films. Nowadays, it's like the ones that are still around, of course, are old now. You know, Clint Eastwood and Jack Nicholson and Christopher. Geez, I can't remember his name. A lot of them are Christopher Walken, I was going to say. And they're all, you know, getting pretty old. And so, David Carradine, of course, and Dennis Hopper, you know, were wonderful, you know, actors that I really admired and was, you know, worked with. Sure. Mickey Rourke is still around, you know, and he's great. But the rest of them, I mean, I'm sorry, but there are a lot of very pretty faces, and I don't really feel like they really have anything to offer acting-wise. But acting's been bastardized, you know. It's been made, you know, mediocre, you know. Mediocrity has become the norm, you know. And the more mediocre things are, the more people continue to accept it as the norm, you know. Even if it's crappy, they go, oh my God. They're so bored of nothing that when they see nothing, they're starting to go, this is great, because there's nothing else out there. You know what I'm saying? It's all becoming very just formulatic crap. And the better films, are usually independent films, you know, that no one's ever going to see because they don't get any distribution. They don't get released theatrically. They don't, you know, that's why film festivals are great, because it's the only chance you're ever going to see some of these damn things, because no one else will see them. Is
there any independent film that we in Latin America haven't seen from you that you would like to name?
There's a few I don't want you to see, that I want no one to see. But I did make, there's two that I can think of. I made one, I played a prize fighter, a boxer in a film. I played an Irish-American prize fighter.
What film was that?
It's called Strength and Honor. And it was shot in Ireland. Mm-hmm. But nobody saw the damn thing because it didn't get decent distribution. You know, I mean, it was shown here and there. You know, I saw it in Spain, and I think I saw it in I think I saw it in Istanbul. You know, I saw it at screenings in different places, but it never got what it deserved. You know, it never got like a big, you know. And then I did a cop thing that was called Vice. Mm-hmm. I was a undercover narcotics cop. Daryl Hannah's in it, and I made her wear a wig, so she wasn't the blondie thing that she always does. Mm-hmm. I said, no, honey, you can't have the blondie hair. So she got a wig, and she wore a black wig, and she looked great. Mm-hmm. And she's really good in the movie. But it was called Vice, and it was actually shot by the same DP that shot Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. His name's Andre Sekula. Mm. Yeah, he filmed it, and we shot it in Vancouver. And you know, I'm a cop, and I'm like kind of like, you know, my wife is dead, and I'm drinking all the time, and I'm smoking, and you know, I don't care about nothing. And I get set up in a drug deal. Mm-hmm. There's some drugs go missing in a bust. and everybody thinks maybe I had something to do with it, and I didn't. And I find out that all these guys are setting me up, and they're all trying to fuck me up, and so then I kill everyone. But for a good reason, because they got it coming, because they shouldn't have did that to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's a dark film, you know, but it's about consciousness, man. It's about, you know, I'm not even saying that the character that I'm in is redeemable. He's not.
Oh.
But it's a there is a redemption about it if you watch it like more than once. You know, it didn't really get. It also didn't get its deserved release. You know.
Unfortunately, hopefully, one day we'll be able to have it.
It's out there. You know what I'm saying? It'll turn up somewhere with somebody.
Well, probably now that we've been talking about this, someone in the distribution field
may
feel drawn to it and look for it and put it out there.
You could have played it here.
That would be nice.
If you want.
Michael, finally, if you could choose a role from now on, different from the work you have done in the past, what would you like to play?
Well, being that I've been villainized, I've played numerous amounts of villains. Unless it's really, really written well, I don't want to play any more villains. I would do it for Quentin anytime, anywhere. Sure. Because he knows how to write a villain, okay? And I would always do that with him. But for anybody else, or for any other kind of writer that's wandering around out there, I would like to play some more redemptive people. You know, I was the father in Free Willy,
sure,
which no one cares about, no one remembers, you know, except for you guys, because at the festival they actually showed a clip from it, which was amazing. Because I haven't seen it in a long time, and it was really cool. But for the most part, people think that films like that I've been in don't matter, you know, or like, oh yeah, he was in Free Willy, or they laugh about it. Oh, he was the dad in Free Willy. You know, but I'd like to play like a character like who has a daughter, and he empowers the daughter, you know, to do something. You
that would be nice.
Yeah, because no one would expect me to do anything like that.
Definitely.
You know, I was playing with this little kid last night out in front of this thing we went to.
National Theatre.
Yeah, and it was so sweet, because I remembered when my boys were little like that, and he was so cute, you know. And it was like, God, you know, it was so funny the guy was cool because he let me take him. Most people would be like, hey man, I'm not gonna hand you my kid. Because you have to be a politician or a famous actor for someone to give you their kid, you know. But he did, and it was really nice, because he didn't have to do that. But he was so funny, and he reminded me of when my boys were little. You know, it's a time that's gone past for me. It's over, and you know, it was nice. And I've been recently watching on the CNN. They're talking about how there's no women in Formula One. And
interesting.
Yeah, and so then I was thinking about this subject of you know, a father helping the daughter, and how cool it would be if I empowered my daughter to be a Formula One driver.
That would be amazing.
See, because everybody would be like, she's gonna kill herself, man. There's no women can drive race cars, and I could be like a retired Formula One driver, right? Or maybe I got in a really bad wreck and where someone was killed, and I stopped driving, you know, because I was, you know, so bothered by it. And then she wants to be a driver, and I'm like, no, honey, no way, right? And you could have flashbacks to my old career and all that, and you know, and I'm really against it. But then I suddenly realized, you know, she really, you know, she wants to do this, and I get behind her, you know, and I help train her.
I love it.
Put her in the car.
I want to see it right now.
Yeah, man. And
so writers out there, listen to this and start writing a story.
That's right. No, you write it.
I'll think about it. You gave me a great idea.
You write it. And then she wins, at the end of the fucking movie, she wins the Indy 500. You know what I mean? Which would never happen, but...
It might.
Listen, that whale,
It might.
there's no way that whale's gonna jump over the wall either, okay? So, you know.
You have a point there.
But
Exactly.
it was cool in the
Why
movie,
not?
you know.
Finally, Michael, is there any film that made you turn your way? For example, you were going into that path and suddenly a certain film made you change your path and feel something different, maybe a motivation, a new drive to do something.
Well, I mean, I think every movie I've ever done has probably changed my direction of things in one way or another. I mean, you know, you meet people and you work with people and you learn things from people that help you develop, you know, as a person. And then, you know, there's been a few that have guided me in bad directions.
You don't need to say that, that's okay.
But it's you know, I mean, overall, I can't complain. I mean,
And recently, any particular one?
well, you know, it's really it's a feast or famine situation. You know what I mean? It's either you're really very, very happy and you're making a lot of money and your whole family's happy, or you're not getting hired and you have no fucking money and your life is over because you can't pay your bills and nobody's giving you a job, and that can get pretty bad, you know. It can get really dark and really bad because there's a falseness to it sometimes, because you do get paid a lot of money sometimes when you're making films, and then you have a lifestyle that you want to have. You know, you have 3 or 4 Harley Davidson, 3 or 4 motorcycles, or you have 2 houses, or you have, you know, a Corvette, or you buy something cool, right? And then all of a sudden you go for 6 months without a job, and what are you gonna do? Pretty soon it's bye-bye to the Corvette, and you know, it's bye-bye to the house, and you know, see you later to all the toys, and it's over, and then you're back to square one again. And so, you know, you have this burden of wanting to keep everything the way it is, you know what I mean? And that's very complicated, you know, especially if you have kids, you know, and your kids
Sure.
are used to a certain thing. Oh, dad's this and dad's that. You know, it's hard to maintain that sometimes, or the illusion, you know, that you're this thing, you know, this famous thing, you know, it's very troubling sometimes. It's not, you know, Disneyland. It's more Pandora's box than anything, really. It's you find out, I mean, people definitely treat you differently, you know, which is great sometimes, you know. If you go in a restaurant and someone goes, oh shit, man, it's him, you know, and they give you a really good table, you're like, wow, thank you very much, it's great. But then again, you know, you might be in an airport, and you know, maybe you don't feel good, you know, and you got, you know, it's like, oh man, or you're late for some place and you're going somewhere and someone wants to talk to you or take a picture with you and you really don't have time, and that person will always remember you forever, that you were an asshole, that you didn't. I met Michael Madsen, that fucker, he wouldn't take a picture with me. And they never stopped to think in their minds that maybe I just, as a human being, I just didn't. What if I was 10 seconds away from missing a flight to go home to my family, but I'm going to stop and take pictures with a bunch of people and miss my plane? You know, it's in times like that, it's really not fair. It's not fun. You know, to be recognized.
It's too invasive, right?
Well, and there's a lot of fucking nuts out there too. I mean, you know, there's a lot of people who are crazy, and you don't know what the hell they want from you sometimes. I mean, you're really kind of, you know, you know, I'm not walking around with bodyguards. I don't need one, quite frankly, but you know, you're just, you know, like we came out of LaGuardia the other day, we were walking down the street.
Sure.
You know, there's people, total strangers I've never seen before in my life, and they come right up to you and talk to you, and, you know, most of them are very nice people, really wonderful, kind people. But there's a lot of people out there who are not. And you never know, right?
For sure.
Who they are.
For sure.
There's a vulnerability that's inescapable, that's bothers me sometimes, or
I understand.
like pictures of me and my kids that are floating around. I don't necessarily need anybody to know who my kids are.
True.
It's not fair to them. They don't want to be famous. They didn't ask to be famous. But because they're my kids, they are.
What's the connotation about the character in The Hateful Eight for you?
Well, The Hateful Eight is a good example of what I'm talking about.
Okay.
It's about people who are not telling the truth about who they are. It really is. I mean, there's a lot I can't tell you about.
Sure.
Because I promised Quentin I wouldn't do that, and I don't want to spoil the movie.
And we all respect that.
but there's a lot of things about it. There's a lot of things about the characters that are all about, this 2015, that are about right now. In August of 2015. I mean, it's about liars. It's about people who are not telling the truth about who they are. It's about people who are pretending to think one way, but they really don't think that way at all. And it's about the consequences of doing that, and how shit catches up to you, and how, no matter who you think you're fooling around with, man, you better be careful, because, it might be a little bit more than you think. And every character in the movie is that way to a certain extent. And it was fascinating doing it, because nobody else but him could do that movie, see? Because they wouldn't get it. They wouldn't get the point of it, And it's a very complex story. It's very deep.
We're looking forward to see you there. Thank you
Okay.
very much for your time.
All right.